Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
It's kind of just who I am. I couldn't just sit there, watch that happen, and continue to go home.
First here at 10, we begin on a Fox 61 exclusive. A driver loses consciousness and crashes on I-91, and a total stranger jumps in without hesitation, likely saving his life. Well, tonight, that highway hero is sharing what drove him to risk his own safety. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. The man tells us this might be his first step toward a life in public service. Here's Fox 61's Tim Latow in Windsor Locks.
Just up this busy stretch of I-91, a frightening crash unraveling Sunday night when state police say a car smashed into the concrete median barrier, leaving the driver trapped and slipping out of consciousness. That's when a Good Samaritan driving by on the other side of the highway pulled over and quickly took action.
And I saw the car lose control, and then I heard it hit the barrier, watched it scrape all the way down, probably, I don't know, maybe 100 feet or so.
Driving late Sunday night, Joshua Brown of Windsor Locks says he was about to get off at his exit on I-91 when he saw a car slam into the median on the other side of the highway, sending debris everywhere. In a split-second decision, Brown knew he needed to help.
I was raised that way. We'll leave it at that, for sure. Always willing to help somebody. I don't have to know you. I wouldn't have been able to sleep at night.
He says he pulled over and ran to the other side of the highway and found a frightening scene. The driver slipping in and out of consciousness, eventually stopped breathing.
It was scary because, like I said, he was breathing, but it wasn't great. And then he kind of just got quiet and wasn't moving at all.
Brown says he worked to try to resuscitate him and was able to get him conscious again. Then he pulled the victim from the wrecked vehicle and got him to a safe area until state police could respond to the scene of the crash.
This person was actually in somewhat of a perilous position, and a Good Samaritan who happened to be passing along that scene was able to get that person out to safety and ultimately save them.
Brown says he doesn't consider himself a hero, but perhaps in a twist of fate, he's destined to do more life-saving work, as he says he aspires to become a state trooper, a dream he's had from a young age.
Because it was a rough time being a police officer a few years ago. But I still have a calling to it. It's something that's kind of ingrained in me.
The 138th class of the Connecticut State Police begins in January, and Joshua hopes to be one of those trooper trainees selected to the prestigious group. In Windsor Locks, Tim Latow, Fox 61.
All right, Tim, thank you. Let's get a first check on the forecast now. We have a pleasant stretch before things heat up again later this week. Some rain on the way as well then. Sam Samperi is here with the details. Sam.
That's right, Brent. A couple of nice days, and look at these temperatures already down into the lower and middle 60s across northern Connecticut. Urban center, of course, 68, 73, New Haven, 70, Groton, New London, 75. But in the next couple of days, it's going to feel nice and pleasant. So overnight, we're going to have temperatures dropping back into the 50s because these dew points are down there in the 50s now. And I won't be too surprised if some of those cooler towns in northwestern and northeastern valleys reach some of the upper 40s. We have high pressure in control. So overnight, again, mainly clear, lows down, basically between 50 and 55 inland, 55 to 60 along the shore with a couple of cooler towns, like I said. And then otherwise, tomorrow, absolutely beautiful, mostly sunny and pleasant. High temperatures about 75 to 80. A beautiful Tuesday. Well, how long will this beautiful weather last? I think we already gave you a hint. There is a big warm-up on the end of the week. We'll talk about that and chances of storms on your Fox 61 7-day forecast in a few minutes. Brent.
Sam, thank you. Well, we've learned more about an Unkazville man arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. State police say it wasn't just illegal material uncovered. The man had a long history of explicit messages with several underage victims. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot poured through the arrest warrant and has more for us tonight.
State police arrested Daniel Lowell Thursday on charges of possession of child pornography. His arrest comes after troopers spent a year investigating allegations of sexual misconduct. It was during that time where they discovered hundreds of images of child abuse materials inside Lowell's home.
It's very disturbing that they would put kids in that kind of situation and find pleasure.
Amanda Samokar is a mom of two. She says it's hard to believe anyone would do the alleged things being reported in this case.
As a parent, it's just very disturbing, and it just makes you very nervous about where your kids are and what's going on outside of your home.
State police say the investigation first began after a parent went to Preston Police last year. The parent alleged Daniel Lowell had been messaging the 14-year-old for 2 months. In his arrest warrant, state police say Lowell asked the teen sexual questions about the use of marijuana, and sexual questions about other victims in this case. After speaking with everyone involved, troopers identified 3 victims and 2 witnesses. Once search warrants were obtained, investigators found numerous recording devices in Lowell's home. They also uncovered over 400 files of child sexual abuse material. Samokar called these allegations awful and said parents should always talk to their kids about what's going on in their lives.
I think it's really important to check the kids' phones and just to kind of be in the loop as to what's going on.
Lowell was released on a $150,000 bond. State police say he is scheduled to appear in New London Superior Court on July 31st. In Unkazville, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Construction crews gathered in Samaritan tonight calling for safer work conditions. The rally comes days after a worker died on the job. Union leaders say that death should never have happened. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has the story.
Yet dozens of members of the Carpenters Local 326 union came out to Samaritan City Hall Monday to stand in unity to protest for better safety at construction sites after one of their own was killed while on the job. A powerful show of solidarity Monday as construction workers stood for safety to support one of their own gone too soon.
We came to City Hall and said, I know that's not in your purview, but there are things going on there that are unorthodox in the very least.
Back in May, police say 36-year-old Elvin Monzon Guzman, who was a trades worker, died at a job site on B Street in Samaritan. President of Carpenters Local 326 Union Miguel A. Fuentes says this incident is one part of a broader problem. He says they've been asking Samaritan leaders to support workers against unsafe conditions and wage theft, but he claims those calls were ignored.
That if they were watching this project from the beginning and put a set of eyes on it on a regular basis just to make sure things were being done above board, we could have saved this young man's life. Fuentes
argues on April 9th, multiple AR building company subcontractors were allegedly caught violating Connecticut labor laws at 2 different locations in Samaritan, one at 406 B Street and 105 Pomeroy Avenue. As a result, the company was issued several stop work by the Connecticut Department of Labor. The president of South Builder, the actual subcontractor of the project, told Fox 61 these allegations are not true. He provided payrolls issued in May that he says shows proof of payment to workers on the project. Acevedo told Fox 61 his company had all the proper safety equipment on the construction site. He gave a statement saying, "These documents show we were authorized by the Labor Department to continue working during this period in question. This also confirmed that all our employees were properly documented and in full compliance with legal requirements." In the wake of the tragedy, local carpenters are urging lawmakers to pass legislation that would hold higher-level employers accountable for workplace safety failures. State Representative Hilda Santiago, who serves the city of Samaritan, has joined the effort, saying a law in the books could protect construction workers in the near future.
How can we stop these tragic incidents if we don't put in the right legislation to make people accountable for what happens on these construction sites? So we need to really follow up with our state legislators.
Now, organizers tell me they will continue to keep fighting for workers as they push for a legislation to hold higher-up employers accountable. In Samaritan, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Well, tonight, officials are investigating after a body was pulled from the water near the Stevenson Dam this afternoon. Monroe police were among the several emergency departments called to the dam to help with the recovery effort. The victim's name has not yet been released. Police say the chief medical examiner has been notified. They will determine how the person died. And we now know the name of the man found dead at the Lisbon boat launch over the weekend. State police are investigating the case as a suspicious death. Troopers say the body of 33-year-old Napoleon Perez of Norwich was found Saturday afternoon. Investigators are still working to determine his cause and manner of death. State police say this is an ongoing investigation, but there is no threat to the public at this time. ICE agents have arrested a man in Connecticut with a history of terror-related charges. Officials say Mahmoud El-Hassan, a Sudanese national, was taken into custody yesterday in Danbury. They say he's in the country illegally. He has previously been convicted for trying to support a foreign terror group and for lying to investigators. They did not say which terror group, but El-Hassan was indicted a decade ago for giving money to ISIL. Outrage is growing after ICE agents detained an Afghan interpreter in Connecticut. His name is Zia. Officials did not give a last name to protect his identity since he helped U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and there is a risk his family could be targeted by the Taliban. He came to the U.S. legally under humanitarian parole, but was arrested last Wednesday outside a green card appointment in East Hartford. Zia has no criminal history. A federal judge has temporarily blocked his deportation, and Senator Richard Blumenthal told us tonight he plans to demand answers from immigration officials tomorrow.